Brown's bombshell has just rocked the NFL conversation. And this one is going to echo for a long time. Legendary Cleveland Browns insider Mary Kay Cabot, who has covered more quarterback controversies than most fans have watched games, went on record saying Shedeur Sanders is ready to start in Cleveland. And that single line set off shockwaves that no one saw coming. The haters are scrambling to find new excuses. The Browns front office is buzzing behind closed doors. And suddenly, the QB1 debate in Cleveland is no longer theoretical. It's real. It's alive. And it's impossible to ignore.
I think, and Deion certainly thinks, that there is going to be a world in which Shedeur sets foot in a football game.
She's spitting a little.
Before we dive deeper, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a second of this unfolding QB drama. Guess who just landed in the name, the headlines, and the very mouth of Mary Kay Cabot? None other than Shedeur Sanders. Again. And this time it's not coming from Deion Sanders hype, not from fan speculation, but straight from one of the most respected voices in Cleveland sports media. The same Cleveland.com sports authority who for months was the loudest critic of Shedeur's readiness. A lot of people might try to dismiss this revelation with lazy excuses like, well, Deion probably talked her into it. But that's not how this unfolded at all. Let's set the record straight. Deion Sanders didn't force this narrative. He simply answered questions NFL players asked him about another NFL player. And the media ran with their spin. The shocking twist here is that Mary Kay herself, the very reporter who doubted Shedeur the most, has flipped her position completely. Hold up for a second and think about the weight of this. This is the same woman who couldn't stop bringing up his pre-snap issues, who consistently painted him as raw and unprepared. And now she's praising his elite accuracy, his uncanny touch, and going on record saying he feels ready to play. And if that wasn't enough to send Browns fans into frenzy and haters into meltdown mode, she confirmed something huge. Shedeur actually chose Cleveland over Baltimore. And yes, Deion Sanders personally told the Ravens to back off, protecting his son from a... Mary Kay didn't just hint that maybe he's progressing. She flat out painted a picture of a quarterback on the rise, and that has the entire NFL media machine buzzing.
That happened yesterday was that Shedeur got a chance to go against the first team defense a little bit, and he did so working with the second team offense. So it was, just a little nugget about Shedeur yesterday, and I think it's a good sign. I think he got rewarded for working really, really hard and doing a really nice job on everything. And he was able to go out there and go 2 for 3 in that session. He finished it off with 2 completions against some of the best defenders in the NFL. So I just thought that was a really good sign for him.
How are, based on what you heard, Mary Kay, how is he doing behind the scenes, picking up the offense, and just being a teammate and all those type of things? How's he doing there?
Well, as far as being a teammate, he's doing a tremendous job with that. And I really like his personality. I've really enjoyed what I've seen and heard from him as a person, as a human being. So that's been really, really cool to watch him kind of blossom and grow here. I caught a moment with him just earlier in the week when the quarterbacks were going to be talking to us. And I saw that when Jerome Baker was at podium 2, Shedeur was getting ready to walk out of the field house with 2 members of the PR staff and walk over to podium 1. When everybody saw him going to podium 1, a lot of people started walking away from Jerome Baker. And I saw this was not a PR thing. This was absolutely...
We are talking about a complete 180-degree turn from one of Cleveland's most respected and longest tenured insiders. And the implications of this are absolutely massive. Not just for Shedeur Sanders' future, but for the Browns organization as a whole. Let me break this down because the story has so many layers that most people on the surface are missing. For months, and I mean months, we've been hearing the same stale talking points recycled over and over again. Shedeur isn't ready. His pre-snap reads are shaky. He's a mid-round project at best. A daddy's boy who only made it this far because of his last name. That was the narrative fed to fans, analysts, and the broader football world. But buckle up, because that entire narrative has just been demolished in the most unexpected and dramatic way possible. Mary Kay Cabot, who has covered the Browns for over 2 decades, who has seen quarterbacks cycle through the organization like fast food orders, names forgotten as quickly as they appeared, just detonated all of that by dropping a bombshell live for the public to hear. And here's where it gets wild. She didn't just grudgingly admit that Shedeur might have potential. She went all in. She talked about his elite accuracy, about his uncanny ability to vary his throws, about how he's not afraid to attack the middle of the field, where most young quarterbacks panic and avoid. That alone is a rare skill set. But then came the strategic bombshell. Remember all that noise about the Ravens wanting him? About fans and critics saying Shedeur was entitled for not embracing that opportunity? Well, Mary Kay confirmed Deion himself called Ozzie Newsome, a respected former teammate, and told him directly, "Don't draft my son." And before the haters scream entitlement, let's make this clear. This wasn't spoiled behavior. It was calculated career management at the highest level. Why? Because sitting behind Lamar Jackson...
And the question is his readiness, because the conversation I hear about Shedeur sitting at this desk is that he was the one most behind of anybody coming into this competition. And now he can go out and prove either A, that wasn't true, or B, it doesn't matter. Mary?
Well, I think the thing about Shedeur is that he's a gamer, and I think he's going to go out in this game, and I think he's going to perform well, like he did in college. I think that when the lights come on, he's at his best. He even basically said that when we talked to him the other day, that have you watched me in college?
The next decade would have buried Shedeur's career. Instead, the Sanders family saw Cleveland as a better path. His developing chemistry with younger receivers like Caden Davis, and painted a picture of a quarterback grinding relentlessly every single day. She wasn't describing a lucky rookie. She wasn't describing a spoiled coach's son. She was describing a quarterback who's turning heads with work ethic, with leadership, and with football IQ. And then came the line that had every Browns fan and Shedeur supporter jumping out of their chairs. He feels ready to go out there and play. Do you understand the gravity of that? This isn't some YouTuber hyping Shedeur for clicks. This is Mary Kay Cabot, a veteran insider, one of the most consistently skeptical voices about him, admitting that the young man himself feels ready to contribute at the NFL level. That's growth. That's proof. And that's why the haters are panicking. Because the narrative they built has just been torched by facts, observations, and first-hand reporting. Mary Kay even addressed the Joe Flacco factor. She admitted Flacco hasn't been playing well, that the Browns' offense is sputtering at around 15 points per game, and suggested changes could be coming sooner than expected. Which means if Cleveland continues to stall, Shedeur could see the field this season. Not as a desperation move, but as a legitimate quarterback option. That possibility is now real, and it has Browns fans cautiously optimistic, while forcing Shedeur's critics to confront the truth. Remember, this is the same kid people said wasn't NFL material. The same one labeled as arrogant, the same one accused of living off his father's reputation. But now, Mary Kay Cabot is shredding those lazy narratives and replacing them with hard evidence of development, leadership, and readiness. And let's not ignore the significance of her words. She highlighted his fearless throws across the middle, his ability to read defenses, his confidence in young receivers, and most importantly, his chemistry with teammates who could shape the future of this Browns offense. That's not entitlement. That's foundation building. So don't skip a single second of this video. And if this story touches your heart, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Where are you watching from? Let's begin.